Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to My Deep Guide, and in today's video I'm going to be showing and sharing with you something that's become a very important and powerful yet super simple type of a productivity tool that I'm using with MDO on a daily basis basically. And I'm going to be showing that example on the Boox Note Max for the Boox devices and platform, and on the Supernote Manta for the Supernote platform. But the procedure that you see here is going to be equally applicable to any Boox device and any Supernote device. Unfortunately, Remarkable, as another dominant platform here, doesn't really have that type of functionality, so there's nothing really to show, unfortunately, for this platform. But if you are a Remarkable user, I would recommend that you watch this video anyway, and then if you like what you see, then you can maybe bug Remarkable so that they do implement that type of functionality, so that Remarkable devices and users have this kind of benefits as well. In order to show you how I use this advantage of a certain feature when working with workbooks such as MDO and MMP, and actually one that I've come to rely upon quite heavily in the past several weeks when working in MDO, I need to first show you the basics of how to convert a document into a notebook if you don't know that already. And I'm going to show you examples for the Supernote and for the Boox platform, just in case somebody who watches this doesn't know yet, and I'm going to keep it short. In order to be able to use a PDF document of any kind, including complex hyperlinked ones such as MDO and MMP, as a notebook on the Supernote, they have to be located in a very specific folder, and that specific folder is My Style. So your step number one is going to be to locate where your documents that you want to copy are, and in this case let's focus on MDO 2025, and let's say that I want to use this version. So I'm just going to go copy, and I'm going to go back into My Style, and I'm going to go OK to paste it here. So now that it has been pasted, it's there. So that's step number one. Step number two is to create a notebook, but you have to follow a certain set of steps that's a little bit counterintuitive. Why is it counterintuitive? Well, let's go to my folder here, and let's go maybe templates testing. So I'm going to typically go into plus to create a new notebook, and your natural inclination would be to just simply go to view all for templates, and then go customization, and then you would try to find the document here. But you won't be able to find it, not in this scenario. That's not how it works. Your step number two is to simply create a notebook and just name it what you want it to be. In my case, let's call this MDO. I could have used caps there, but let's just go like test. Okay, so that's going to be MDO test. And I don't care which templates I'm going to be using here. So I'm just going to put one of the standard mydeepguide templates that you can find on mydeepguide.com/shop as well. And I'm just going to create a notebook. Okay, cool. Now it's created. Well, this is a landscape version, but I don't really care about that, because we're going to replace the whole thing in step number three. And step number three is that in that newly created notebook, you import the PDF file and convert it into a notebook. And you do that by simply going to layers, and then you can go to templates, or you can go directly to templates here. It doesn't matter, it's the same thing. And then you have select from My Styles. That's what we want. So you tap on select from My Styles, and now you have the option to choose the documents that you've copied over, but only in the My Styles folder. As you can see, you can't go out. All right, so we chose MDO. I'm going to select it. It's going to say, hey, that's that. I'm going to select all the pages, 1,790 pages and well over 11,000 hyperlinks. So I'm going to apply that as a template. And of course, that's going to take some time, but it does it only once. And once it's done, you will have the fully hyperlinked, fully functional MDO powerhouse, but as a Supernote notebook that utilizes all of the benefits and all of the power of the tools that are available in Supernote notebooks. On a Boox platform, this process is actually quite considerably simpler. So let's say I'm in my notebooks and I want to go into the folder when I want to create the new notebook, and I just tap on create here, and it's gonna give me an option immediately. Do I want to create a handwritten note, text note, or from a local file or a quick note? In this case, we want to create from a local file. And when you go into that mode to choose from a local file, it actually gives you access to your entire device. So you don't have to have the PDF in a specific folder, you don't have to copy it or anything like that. You can just go into any folder that you have on your device and copy or use the version that you want. So let's now choose MDO 2025, and I'm just going to go OK, and it's going to create the notebook and do the whole process like it is on the Supernote as well. So a considerably simpler workflow for creating and converting PDF, workbooks, and documents into notebooks on a Boox platform when compared to the Supernote. But essentially, once they're done, you have the same thing and the same advantages. And another thing is that, as you can see, this guy has already finished and the Supernote is still going through the whole thing. I mean, it's not really surprising since this is a far, far more powerful CPU, and you can definitely see the benefits of that in a practical example like this one. Before I start showing you these examples, I want to talk you through just the basics of my setup on Boox and why I interact with the notebook in the way that I do. And you will notice that I have no touch responsiveness whatsoever. That is by design, that is my choice, because I decided that I will be using only taps and long press as a gesture, system bar gestures and side gestures. Bottom gestures are off for me, pinch to zoom is off, and swipe drag page is off, because I do not want to have accidental recognitions or pattern rejection issues that are definitely prone, especially on a big screen like this one, where your hand is going to slide quite a bit around. And yeah, for me, that's the workflow that works best. So how do I go around pages? Well, I customize my toolbar to contain what I need it to. And one of the things that it does contain is the, how do they call it? Let's see, how do they call it? They call it page number. Yeah, so the page number shows you the page number, and it gives you the little icons that you can use to navigate around. And the cool thing is that because I have my tap gesture as working, I can use either the tap gesture to navigate between the pages, or go here into selecting a page that I want, or anything like that. Now, the tap gesture also is necessary to navigate through a document like MDO, so that I can navigate between the hyperlinks in a document, right? So I need that gesture to work for me in the notebook setting. So if we go to today's day of recording, not when the video comes out, I will have my standard organization per day of pages for MDO. And the standard layout is I have the daily planner, which is here. Then I have, for each of the days, I have my daily notes, and I have 2 daily notes, daily notes 1, daily notes 2, and then I have a daily diary, from all of which I can actually return back to my daily planner, which is great. Like, that's the organization. However, in certain cases, and depending on what your kind of workflow is, I find myself quite often in a situation where the daily notes pages, 2 pages may not be enough. I may extend to more, especially if I'm designing a system or going through bug checking or testing kind of phase of a product. Then I really need a lot of notes. And this is the thing that I want to show you so that you can see how that can be very, very beneficial, maybe hopefully to you as well. The concept is extremely simple. Because you're in a notebook, Notebook allows you to have notebook management, which means copying and rearranging pages. But here's the thing, without destroying the hyperlink dependencies. So that means that in this document that has, for example, I have daily notes page 2, that takes me back to the year, is associated to this date, Tuesday, 27th of May. It goes back to the daily planner, and it can go to the daily diary, my notes, my lists, all of the things, right? So I can just go back here, yep, okay, then go back there, and go to Daily Notes 2. If I go to this page here, right, tap on the numbers, the page number thing. It's a little bit difficult to identify which page you are directly on, but the outline around the page that is current is a little bit bolder. So it's actually this one right here. Then you go to this option here. And when I'm in selection mode, I can select a page and then I can copy it within this document, or I can even copy it to another document. But before I do, I'm going to do one more thing. And that is, I'm just going to grab a pen. I'm going to go to a brush, white, and I'm going to carefully delete number 2 from this page. That's all I'm going to do, right? So now I just have daily notes. And now when I go to the page number, I go to the selection, I select the page, and I go copy. And it's going to, hey, you want to copy one page? Sure. For now, I just want to copy one page. But now I'm not going to leave yet, because I'm going to select the original page and I'm going to select the page that I just copied here. I'm going to copy them again. Now that gives me 4 new pages, right? And now I can maybe select even more of these and then make another copy. And suddenly, when I'm done, when I made enough copies that I want, and the thing is that you can just dynamically expand this as you want. If I go back to my daily planner and I go back to daily notes now, I have my regular daily notes page 1. I go to daily notes page 2. Oops, I need actually black color would be preferable. Daily notes page 2. Daily notes page 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I think there was only 7 copies. Nope, there was 8. I was very, very eager. I was making so many copies. So now I went from 2 daily notes pages for this specific day to 8, or theoretically unlimited amount of pages that you may need for any given day, any given week, or any given month. And the best part of all is that the hyperlinks are not broken, right? So I can just go, okay, so that's my daily notes. Let's go to the daily notes, I don't know, let's say that I'm on daily notes pages 4, and maybe I just want to skip directly to the diary or to the planner. Everything is still contained within here, which is a really, really powerful thing. And I genuinely do use that. And that's why I wanted to show it to you, because here is the MDO that I am actually using for my daily purposes. And well, you can see that on the May 13th, the daily planner was empty. But as soon as I started to go into daily notes, you can see that I started the designing tasks. And it was like page 1. Then it was page 2, but I needed more pages. And then I kept expanding. I didn't do the trick with the erasing and things because it was spontaneous. But this workflow allowed me to completely freely expand the functionality of the document, such as MDO in this case, to my growing needs. I didn't know how many pages I'm going to need because this thing just kept evolving throughout the whole thing, and I was actually giving more rooms for plans. And as this turned into more of like a document within a document, what I plan to do, of course, it was not done all on the 13th of May. It's just the journey started on the 13th of May and then it continued. But you can see that I've already planned allocated pages for these, which I can expand further on as well using the same kind of approach. And the best part of all is that once I'm done with that, I can use the same technique here and export the selected pages. If I no longer want them to be just buried within a random day, so to speak, in an MDO, I can actually use this and select the pages that I want, right? So let's say that I had these pages, and I can use the copy to functionality, and I can copy it into another dedicated notebook, something that started in your organizer or a planner, and it spontaneously evolved into this bigger type of a planning thing that's beyond just one day. You have that flexibility if you're using this type of workflow to continue freely working in it without any distractions. And then when you're done, you can extract it and organize it in the way that you see fit and it works best for you. And again, another benefit is that if I were to create that notebook from these pages, because MDO is now a notebook itself. If I started the design on May 13th, I would be able to insert a link to another notebook, which would be that notebook. And then I would be able to, let's say we select this one, for example, just as an example, and I would be able to say, hey, this is going to be that. I'm gonna place it right there, and I can just place it, oh, I don't know, let's say maybe here, and say design notes. And that type of flexibility is absolutely crucial for my own workflow for several main reasons. Number one being, I'm in the moment, I'm going through this, and I'm just gonna keep on doing it. And I can do that with confidence, and I can do it really easily without any distractions, because I know that I will be able to extract this and implement it back in a good way. So the second point was being able to extract the notes that evolved from this type of workflow spontaneously and put them in a dedicated notebook for organizational purposes, but also keep the convenience of keeping the link to these notes within my main organizer, in this case the My Daily Organizer or MDO, and then build that type of workflow in a completely organic yet extremely powerful way. Exact same type of mindset and rules apply on the Supernote as well. Once the importing process has finished, you have access to all of the functionalities of the MDO. Although one thing that you need to keep in mind is that since Supernote Manta is a less powerful and capable SoC that it's using than the Booksnote Max, for example, or even Go 10.3, the different speed between using a complex document like MDO, if you were to use it as a document or as a notebook, it will be noticeably slower to use as a notebook than as a document. On the Books platform, you don't really feel it that much, simply because it has enough horsepower to handle both cases. But in the case of the Supernote, you will notice a bit of a slowdown. So that's something that you absolutely have to keep in mind. So now that you know the concept, I want to show you just how you would do that practically on the Supernote. So I would navigate to the Daily Notes 2 page. I would select my brush, make it white, erase number 2. Could have used a bigger brush, but now I'm dedicated and committed. Now I go onto this icon, which is Notebook Management. I long press on the page that I want to perform the operation, and I just go copy. And again, it's going to ask me, hey, you want to copy before or after? I'm going to copy after the page. I'm just going to create a copy. There we go. And now I'm going to press and hold again, except that I'm going to select the previous one as well. There we go. So I'm going to select this dude, copy again, copy after page. There we go. It's copying, and now we have 4 pages, or we should have 4 pages. So we have Daily Notes 1, then we're going to have Daily Notes 2, 3, 4. I think we added 4 more, so there's going to be a 5th one before we get to the Daily Diary. And there we are. And the hyperlinks still work. And you can normally go back now to Daily Notes and just go through 4, 5, X. Then you would actually use the same type of functionality to copy to other notebook. So you select the pages and you go copy, and then you have the option select another note, with one added benefit as opposed to the Books platform, where on the Supernote, when you're adding to or copying pages to notebook, you conveniently have the option to create a new notebook and paste those pages into a new notebook. So let's say, okay, maybe I want that. I'm gonna name it export, or I don't know, MDO export. There we go. So we're gonna go like that. It's gonna export those pages, and we're gonna copy after page. And now I have that notebook. And the hyperlink functionality translates to a Supernote platform as well, where you can easily just, in here I actually like and prefer the functionality a little bit better, because I can just go, I can go design notes, right? And then I can make a selection here, and I can create a link to, and I can select, hey, maybe I want it to look like that, and I want it to go to the MDO export. And there we go. And now that I'm done, I tap on it, I go to that notebook, and that's that. And again, you have the handy hyperlink breadcrumb trail where I can just tap back and go back to my MDO. So for me, the approach of using hyperlinked workbooks such as MDO or MMP, they are already powerful in their very own right. But when you pair them with this kind of minimal type of foresight and planning, and most importantly, having the awareness of the benefits that you may have if you use these types of documents as notebooks versus as documents on these devices, particularly Supernote and Boox devices. The advantages that actually allows you as a user, for me at least, organization-wise, flexibility-wise, distraction-free-wise, it's just a really, really liberating experience to be, for me, allowed to use all of these things and not be punished by the limitations of the platform afterwards. And I genuinely enjoyed using this type of approach for the past couple of weeks. So much so that I thought that, hey, if I'm enjoying this and I'm finding it this useful, and it was right here at my fingertips, but I wasn't actually using it as actively as I'm using it now, maybe it's worth to share that in a case that some of you may also find it useful or inspiring and motivating to explore these types of functionalities on MDO and MMP and similar types of workbooks on your devices as well. I hope that you found the information that I shared here with you useful, and genuinely to me, like, the bottom line is that it doesn't really matter which platform it is that you're using, because as I've shown, the most important aspects are present on both the Boox platform and on the Supernote platform. There are benefits and shortcomings between the both of them. So for example, on the Supernote, I really do prefer the elegance and the simplicity of the tools, how they are built in, and just the overall kind of functionality. So the links, how they function, the headings, how they function. It's just really elegant and streamlined. You don't have to fight it, and you don't have to do a custom setup or anything like that. Whereas on Boox, you absolutely have to do a custom setup. You have certain things that you have to kind of fight, but once you do set it up, and once you do learn all of the tools and quirks and all that kind of stuff, then you get to kind of exploit the benefits of the Boox platform, because it's like super powerful and really fast. Also, it extends the functionality of notebooks further than what a Supernote can, if that kind of stuff is what you need, because you can take that functionality further, as it has the ability to not only insert links to the notebooks as I've shown, but you can insert links to other documents like you can on the Supernote as well, but you can take it into multimedia files, such as insert images. You can record audio clips and have them contained within the document itself. So you can take meeting minutes and recordings in your meeting planner and have them associated with the specific kind of meeting. And then you can take it further and maybe use other apps to convert those recordings into transcripts that you can then use further on and further on. So all of those things are possible on most of the Boox devices, because most of them are equipped with microphones and speakers. But that's only if you need that kind of stuff. If you don't need any of that extra stuff and all you want is like reading and writing stuff, well, Supernote has you covered, and it has you covered really well. You just have to be aware of, you know, kind of slowdowns and some of the aspects. So generally, that kind of awareness applies to both platforms, right? So you have to be aware of positives and negatives, both on the Boox and on the Supernote. But without a shadow of a doubt, I think that utilizing this type of a workflow, for me, it definitely pays off. If you like what you see and you like the functionality that I'm demonstrating here of the MDO, which is my daily organizer, that's a product that you can find on mydeepguide.com/shop, and you can find more details about it in the links in the description down below. And just remember that purchasing any of the mydeepguide.com/shop products directly helps support independence of MyDeepGuide. Well, that's it for me. I hope that you found the video informative and or useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and do let me know in the comments down below what your opinion is, what kind of use case you have gotten out of your MDO. And don't forget that you do have MDO 2025 and 26 has already been available since last year. So if you're starting to plan for 2026 or maybe thinking about that and you don't have MDO 2026 yet, well, head on over to mydeepguide.com/shop to pick your copy up. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye.